You're watching Screen Junkies News from San Diego Comic-Con. Brought to you by the new Samsung Chromebook Plus, the first Chromebook made for Google Play.
Welcome to Comic-Con Day 3. It is Saturday, people.
We're live here. We just saw the Justice League trailer.
And Warner Brothers has brought everything. I'm Roth Cornett. This is Andy Signor. And joining us today are...
So glad.
Yeah, let's announce Mark here for a minute. Because Mark and Draco, sir, you have some things that just happened for you. And I just want to quickly acknowledge those.
Yeah, last night we won Love is Love won the Eisner.
Which is his comic, and he
Bravo!
he also writes for Wonder Woman. We brought a Wonder Woman writer to break down the Justice League trailer with us.
And the biggest surprise last night, which no one knew about, was I won the Bob Clampett Humanitarian Award.
Oh,
Bravo!
dude!
Bravo!
So if you want to watch my shocked crying speech on Facebook, on YouTube, you can.
We have the star of the con here,
Yes.
Roth.
Welcome, welcome.
Congrats,
Also,
you deserve it, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
a fellow comic book writer
Yes.
and DC expert, DJ Wooldridge.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I did not win any awards,
But
but I'm very happy to be
You're here.
Yeah,
And you got in
I'm
Hall
here.
H. That's an
That is
award.
award enough.
You have won the award of our hearts.
Oh, good.
But I
Thank
want to
you.
get us right into the Justice League trailer, people, because, man.
Yes.
We were wondering what they were going to bring, what they were going to drop. They brought they brought some Aquaman, they brought Justice League, and that's what they showed. That's what they revealed to the world. You guys can see it. It'll be in the link below, but let's take a look at some of what this told us about the upcoming film. We saw the poster earlier today. First and foremost, what did you guys think?
I was really impressed because so many of the trailers, because of post-production and stuff, they're just little snippets. And this trailer felt like I now know what the story is, and it expanded the world, and I now know more about the characters. And it had, for all the complaints people get about Zack Snyder stuff being blowing up, there were lots of human moments and lots of character moments in this trailer interspersed with the action stuff. So I thought it was a great trailer, and it was like a 60-second trailer too. It felt meaty.
Yeah.
They really, really gave us a lot to get excited about, I think.
So let's take a look here.
Superman is no longer there.
Superman is no longer with us,
There's
as we
Commissioner
saw.
Gordon, our J.K. Simmons.
Although his Superman spirit is very present in this trailer, they bring up Superman a lot and what he meant to people.
Oh, yeah.
And so his presence is felt. And also a little shout out to the Lanterns. There's a little voiceover from, I believe,
Yes,
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf says in a voiceover, you couldn't really hear it for the cheers in Hall H, but he says, there are no lanterns, there's no Kryptonian, this planet is mine. And it was like, I got goosebumps because I love when they reference stuff in passing, like they're going to expand. That's the way to expand a universe in my book. Just mention it and revisit it later, and it was thrilling.
They put Wonder
Not
Woman.
through a PowerPoint presentation.
Well, they put Wonder Woman, who, of course, that movie has hit #1 movie of the summer just today. So congratulations to Wonder Woman. They put
I mean,
her
she got such a rousing.
She
I mean,
sure
of
did.
course she would, but it was just so. It was like goosebumps, even really.
Yeah.
Like we all could finally celebrate. Like you did it.
Yay! And she was great on the panel as well. But they put her front and center in this trailer. So let's take a quick look at that in a great action sequence.
Yes, just passes the bullet.
I also,
Faster than a speeding bullet, guys.
I also like with stuff like this that remembering where these superheroes come from. Sometimes you just need to stop a good bank robbery.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's the thing, is that I thought that was interesting too, is that they.
But it shows the scope of what Wonder Woman does. She'll help stop a bank robbery and she'll save the universe. She's a hero in every facet of her life, which once again reveals a lot about character, her stopping a bank robbery.
Can I be that guy? Because I'm the one.
Yes.
They have bring this whole thing of like Superman brought all this hope, blah blah blah. Did he? I feel like she did.
Well,
They're it feels like they're like backtracking and like pretending like he brought all the hope.
the Wonder Woman movie has brought hope to us all. In this universe, I go back to the one moment in Batman vs. Superman that I love, when Batman rescues Martha Wayne, and then she says, "Who are you?" His response is usually, "I'm Batman," and he says, "I'm a friend of your son's."
Yep.
That's the moment in this cinematic universe where his Superman's existence stops Batman's descent into nihilism. So even though we don't see Superman in this, and I missed Henry not being at the con, his lawyers probably said don't go near there. But I think that they're kind of maybe retrofitting, but Superman is the impetus for the hope and the forming of the Justice League.
Just remember all those shots in Batman v Superman where he's like
saving
people.
Oh,
Just
yeah, all
imagine
amidst the carnage.
Maybe there's like just imagine scenes right after that where the people are crying. He's like, "No, you're welcome," and he gets some pie and stuff.
Retcon it. I like that. Yeah. It's like, oh, that was what was happening.
Exactly.
I would love
you just
that.
missed it. You just cut it out of the movie.
Well, we'll get into this in a minute. We don't see him, but he's certainly, the presence is felt, and there's a little tease right there at the end. But we won't
Is it
talk
him
about
at the end?
Is it?
Or is it
Do we have
Shazam?
it's a shoulder. It could be Shazam. Mark, who do you think?
It's Wolverine.
Well, we'll look at that shot in a minute, but let's talk about, we do see something is coming. We go back, and I was so delighted to be back in the world of Themyscira.
Oh, when I saw
Oh,
Connie
yes.
Nielsen, I'm getting goosebumps now. Incorporating that world in, it's nice to see, because DC and Warner Brothers have seen the shared universes thus far. Now they're building them in the way they're learning from what didn't work and what did work. Just the integration of Gotham and Metropolis and Atlantis and all this stuff. It's just so exciting to see. And this shot, you're like, oh, this was the movie I loved more than anything. And then you see Connie Nielsen, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, this is definitely a trailer edited in a post-Wonder Woman
look at
world.
that!
That.
Yeah, it's
be-
awesome.
Because seeing Themyscira and seeing the characters, and like emphasizing that more.
And everyone that saw Wonder Woman is going to get to see Wonder Woman see her mother again. And it's
Yeah.
going to be such an emotional moment. It's going to be amazing.
And who arrives there? And let's take a look at this, because this was one of the big moments, right?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Everybody's favorite DC villain, Steppenwolf.
How do you think?
Everyone has the
Born
T-shirt.
to be wild. That's who I think of instead of.
How are you guys thinking this plot's going to come together, though? From what you've seen in the trailer so far, what are you piecing together?
Well, for me, I'm thinking that Steppenwolf is sort of the villain version of the Silver Surfer. Darkseid would be Galactus, and Steppenwolf is his sort of guy going out before him, or Darth Vader with Darkseid
Which is
being
what
the
they've sort of
Emperor.
been teasing, right,
Yeah.
all along.
I think at the end of this, when Steppenwolf is invariably defeated, we're going to see Darkseid say, "Okay, now I'm going to get this stuff done."
So do you think it becomes that we don't actually
Gee, I
deal with
wonder where that
Darkseid?
happened
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, okay,
Well,
to be
I'll
fair,
do it.
to be
Yeah.
fair,
Yeah, but
Thanos was riffing on Darkseid.
Well,
Darkseid came
Thanos
first
was
in the comics.
based
Total
on
knockoff
Darkseid,
of Darkseid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a question I have. Do we think that Steppenwolf is actually the big bad of this movie, or do we think he's the big bad for the first two acts and then
And
it's
then Darkseid
Darkseid?
comes
Well,
in.
there's precedent to have the third act be, and if they do this, I'll be so thrilled if they don't tell us this until the movie comes out. If the third act is Superman comes back, goes to Apocalypse, and fights Darkseid and saves the Justice League, that'll be amazing. And they're playing that really close to the chest right now, so we might not see until the trailer the week before the movie opens. Oh, guess what? Here's Darkseid and here's Superman. It'd be great.
Well, the one little.
I hope they don't show us.
Please,
Same.
yes, please
Warner
don't show
Brothers,
us.
Yeah.
You're so
Yeah.
good with the trailers, but save a little bit.
Yeah,
we had that one little kid that was like, "Hey, where's Superman?" And Gal was like, "Well, if you like Superman, you're probably gonna really like Justice League."
Well, that reminded me of another thing they said at the panel, which is my favorite part, because I love Jason Momoa up there, the energy, and even Ezra Miller. This not only the trailer footage, but just their chemistry
Yeah, they
got
were
me very
great.
excited. At Momoa, like some kid finally comes up and goes, "Is Superman in the movie?" And everyone goes, "Oh," and Jason Momoa goes, "I don't know if you saw the movie, but Superman's dead."
And he's like, "Don't get mad at me. That's his parents' fault for not telling him."
And
But I just love, he's so into it. You can tell they're all into it. Ray Fisher.
And he's probably got a little bit of jet lag because they probably flew him directly here on
They
a
did.
private invisible jet from.
And we will break down the Aquaman trailer here live in a bit. But yes,
It was nice to see.
amazing.
The cast seems to legitimately like each other, which is nice. It seems like, and that will read because we've all seen movies where the cast is like, "Oh, we had a very good time,"
Yeah.
and these people seem like they probably hang out together.
They even have a moratorium on discussing the pranks they pull on each other. They apparently made a blood pact that they can't talk about the pranks that they pulled.
Well, let's get back to the trailer. I hate to be this person that's like, well, let's talk about the thing, but let's talk about the thing. Batman is watching a hologram. Can we pull that up?
It might take a second.
JT, it might take a little minute here. Did you guys see that part?
Yeah.
It seems to be Superman.
Yeah,
So
it's
what do we
Superman's
think is
kid.
going on there?
I think that was with the voiceover, "No lanterns, no Kryptonian." So maybe it's Batman trying to figure out if Superman can be revived because of his Kryptonian physiology.
That's something I wonder about because there's a few options they have. They could go with the Death of Superman route where he's in the Fortress of Solitude, which maybe that is where the hologram is. Maybe it's some sort of technology. I've been kind of wondering if perhaps Darkseid could be the one to bring Superman back as a weapon.
Well,
and
they
of course,
imply that in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
There's a thought process in Batman v Superman with the Omega symbol, which is Darkseid's symbol, that Darkseid, and Grant Morrison sort of did this in Final Crisis, where the Apocalyptans, I guess, is it Apocalyptans?
Sure, it is
Sure,
now.
it is now, where they inhabit the bodies of humans. So it could be cool. My fan fiction version of it is that Darkseid is possessing Superman, and he's defeating the Justice League, and then Lois Lane breaks Darkseid because love. This theme of love in the DC universe conquering all make Superman defeat Darkseid and then come back. So I have no skin in the game. I don't know that. That's just my fantasy.
Also, that hologram in what looks to be some sort of Wayne facility is very reminiscent of the future newspaper from The Flash. So crossover with the Flash CW show confirmed.
Right. Well, they did,
Right
and they
here.
did confirm Flashpoint as the Flash movie in the slate, which we'll also talk about as we talk. So there's so much to talk about. We'll break it all down. But I do want to bring out Flash, like, because I'm a fan of the Flash on TV. I love Grant Gustin, but I now I'm starting to see Ezra Miller's Flash here, and I'm kind of getting into it. It's
I'm
like,
really
I
into
love
it.
the line where he says, "You guys fight people, but I just push people over and run away."
That was so good. It was also a nice little like nod to his brief role in Suicide Squad. It's like, no, that's his gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, and also what's great about it is Ezra Miller is such a phenomenal actor. You should look up his IMDb page and see everything he's done thus far.
Perks of
He's
Being a
so
Wallflower
versatile.
was great,
Perks of
yeah.
Being a Wallflower. We need to talk about Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin,
all this
which is
stuff.
a very
he's
different
he's the
character.
real deal, and it kind of the energy of the Barry Allen in this kind of reminds me of what I loved about the original when I read Peter Parker at the first. And there's that freshness and that joy. I'm like, am I supposed to be here? And it differentiates itself from the Barry Allen of the TV show. They're not just doing that on a big screen.
Yeah. You know, I have to agree with Andy. I love The Flash on TV too, and I was worried that you can't make it work twice, but seemingly it is, because it's not, they didn't take such a divergent take on the character that it's like, well, then why do The Flash? He's funny, and he's fun, and he's enthusiastic.
And he's sincere.
And he's sincere. It's really lovely to see, and it seems like it's tonally fitting very well.
And I
with
love that
Lizzie.
his costume, I think Ezra released some stuff on Instagram of his costume saying, yeah, it's got scuffs on it, because
Yeah.
as the Flash, he's tripping all the time because he's just learning to do this. So the costume is all scuffed and beaten up.
It's great, and Ezra Miller too on the panel. You could tell that energy is very authentically
Totally.
his.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he kind of owned that panel for me.
He, like,
he was
owned
hilarious.
Chris Hardwick at the panel.
He did.
Well, he came in dressed as
He
a,
did.
He was quick.
He came in dressed
Quicker.
as a Full Metal Alchemist character, so he's legitimately a real geek. So his love for this is palpable.
And the scene with Commissioner Gordon where he doesn't flash out and ghost
Yeah.
out in time was you'd
And I
think
like
he'd
that
be
'cause
the first one to leave.
Exactly. He totally could, but he's like, oh, I'm a nice guy. I don't want to like just ditch you. Like,
Or he forgot.
that too.
Either
that
way,
too.
it's cute. I'm into that. I know. I still don't get a vibe on Cyborg. We'll see.
I will say
I
this.
liked Ray Fisher.
I will say this. Ray Fisher on the panel,
Was wonderful.
I now have a crush on because he was
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about this kid before. We'd never seen him before. Seeing the way he was on the panel, the smartness and the sincerity and knowing this material. And I will say that moment when he
was a
says,
good moment.
Alfred, I'll take it from here. That moment made me, now I'm interested in Cyborg.
I'm interested. Yes. That's
Yes,
what I'll say.
and I'll
I'm
also say
curious.
I feel like they're blending the worlds well. You know, you see Alfred kind of is interacting with all of them in one way. You know, he said, "Do I know you?" But he is interacting, and he's taking over the Nightcrawler, right? So
Yeah.
they're clearly making these worlds merge together, and it's working, I think.
I also like the idea that, and this is something that Batman v Superman didn't play with as much as it could have, the idea of their supporting cast interlinking, their different, like we're stopping in Themyscira, we're stopping in Atlantis, we're stopping these places, and having these worlds interact a little bit more in a more cohesive way, as opposed to like, you're over here, and I'm
Well,
over
and
here.
also what's great about that, it kind of runs peripheral to that, is when they say when he says how many are you of them, how many of them are you, and Batman says not enough.
Yeah.
It gives the scope of the world. It's like, oh, we're gonna discover more and more as this cinematic universe expands.
Yeah, and Steppenwolf's threatening to take the world down, so we're gonna need
The
them.
fans are into it, even the people, because they're like, the CGI is not good, but I like it. Or even if they're saying, I don't like the look of the Flash, he was funny. Like, it seems like this trailer did a good job of, if you were a little bit of a naysayer, like I've been in the past, I got some senses here that got me
Well,
excited.
we're all guilty of that. We do take ownership of these characters. Before we became the geeks that rule the world, for a lot of us, this was the place. This was our safe place when we got made fun of in junior high school, that sort of thing. So of course we're all going to be reticent because we all have our own versions of these characters. But I think this trailer went a long way to make people really legitimately excited and really curious and open to this new take.
Speaking of safe places, they talked about how Aquaman is just warm and fuzzy on the inside, and Ezra Miller told him, like, "Hey, man, there's a safe place."
Yeah, the Batcave says the Batcave is a safe space, which
Safe
is amazing.
space.
And that shot where he slides the parademon through the building.
That's
was
what I
pretty
wanted
great.
to talk.
I'm
I
into
wanted to
that.
pull that one up next.
Yeah.
Aquaman surfing the parademon.
This has a
Seemingly,
badass
yeah.
quality. I'm excited for this.
I also, talking about the humanist, I like the moment where
And look, he's wearing green and orange.
Yeah.
There was hey, did you guys notice, like, even from the post this
you
morning,
play
there's a
that
little more
moment, JT?
color.
Yeah,
right?
I actually, at first I was kind of iffy on that poster, but the more I looked at it, I'm like, I'm kind of into this.
It looks like a
I'm about
cover.
it.
Yeah.
But I like the moment where Aquaman's like, if I'm being honest, I think we're all going to die. And it's just this cool, like, because the DC heroes are so big, larger than life, and iconic to have these, like, I mean, yeah, I can punch a tank, but we're a little out of our league here. You know what I mean? It's cool.
So let's take another quick look about them sort of all in front of a hole. What do we think this is? Is this Superman's grave? Is this what it...
Well, it looks like, from the stuff I've been able to piece together, it looks like Themyscira has a piece of whatever the mother box technology is. Atlantis has a piece. Maybe there's a piece in Superman Cyborg's made from it. If we can put that together from the other trailers and other movies, so it could be a place where the mother box technology destroys part of the planet. Because if you look at Apocalypse in the comic books, it has these giant burning, like, coal holes that are perpetually on fire.
But this specific shot that's on the screen right now, I'd like to think that there will be a reverse angle of this that's just the Hall of Justice.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
Good
what
call.
I want.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
got it,
wish
yeah.
fulfillment,
Good
you
call.
know?
Or they're
That's what-
protecting Superman's grave.
Yeah.
That too.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking, too. I was thinking of Superman's grave.
Well, look. Oh, go ahead.
No, I guess it kind of looks like in the back corner that it might be where the downed Zod ship was, that big.
Well,
tarp thing that's
there's
over it.
flowers in the Metropolis
Yeah, it
Police,
looks like
so
a
it could be
memorial.
the memorial.
Nice.
All right. We're breaking it down. Do we have thoughts from comments?
Yeah, I was gonna say the fans. I'm not. This comes from Bill Archer. I'm not a big DC fan. Make mine Marvel, but you got to stand up and clap for that JL trailer. Holy S.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this a lot. There's a lot of people who, they needed that. They need to get people on board with this, and I thought they did a great. I will admit they did a great job.
I thought they did.
Warner
I'm
Brothers
excited.
should be very happy. They really
was a
brought it
really-
this year. They
yeah, it
really
was just
brought
an
it in the
energy
best
in it,
way.
yeah.
There was a sense of fun and excitement that riding off the love Wonder Woman is having. I think they're doing this the best way they possibly can.
And we just saw this in the hall, ran over here to do this right now. So I think we're going to find more and more things as we look at that trailer again. Let's look at that final shot now
Yeah,
with
everyone's
Alfred.
wondering, is it Shazam? Is it Superman?
And
It's
is it? He
Superman,
says-
people. We
Well,
know he's
he
in the
says,
movie. That's
He
doing what the dirt
There
on
we
his
go.
grave did.
Yeah, no, it's
And he
Sonic
also
Boom.
says, like, exclamation on, I hope you're not too late. I mean, it's clearly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Superman.
curious of what Alfred is up to right before that happens. Like, he's like, oh, the world's ending. Time to fix the car.
And drinking.
Have a
Whiskey.
drink.
But yeah, I do
Some
think
whiskey.
that, like, with the water shaking, they made.
That was scotch. That wasn't water.
Sorry. They made a lot of emphasis in the past movies of Superman Sonic Booms, and that was what that felt like a reference to. Although I am curious with, like, he said you'd come. How? Did Batman know? Does Batman know that Superman's coming back? Like,
Well,
who
that
knows that Batman's
technology,
coming back?
Greatest detective.
Yeah,
DJ.
exactly.
Maybe.
World's
That's
greatest
true.
detective.
And maybe Batman takes Superman out of his grave to try and revive him. That was maybe what that hologram was. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he's in a life pod in the Batcave.
Yeah, we don't know. But those
So
are
much
all
to
great
learn.
theories.
I'm
Do
so
you-
excited.
Final thoughts?
No, I'm excited for this, and I'm glad that we're going to talk more about Aquaman coming up, and also Ready Player One, all the stuff that Warner Brothers. So stay tuned, live audience. We'll be back with more videos.
Final thoughts from you guys?
November can't come soon enough.
I agree with that. I was always going to desire to see this movie, but now even more so. I'm very hopeful for it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and lending your brilliance and expertise. You, sir, congratulations.
Congrats again, Mark Andreyko. Bravo.
Mark Andreyko.
Thank all of you guys out there who have been supportive of the book and bought the book. You made it all possible, so thank you very much.
Yes.
But if you haven't bought it, please, this is such a beautiful book. Love is love, love is love, love is love.
And I'll say it, I loved Warner Brothers panel. Congrats
Yes.
for them as well.
Congratulations
Bravo.
to Warner Brothers and DC. This is us. You're feeling us raw. This is our quick take on this. We'll be digging in more as the days progress.
Should we do Aquaman next, Roth?
Let's do Aquaman.
Tune in.
Stay tuned for Aquaman next. Thank you so much, and be nice to each other. I'm taking Joe's catchphrase because I love it. And I love you, Joe Star. Are you here?
We'd like to thank our sponsor, the new Samsung Chromebook Plus, for sponsoring today's episode.